to see you here again in Cancun. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling good,
You're
actually,
feeling
Brian.
good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, before we get into what you're having done today,
Yeah.
I want to understand a little bit about your journey, where you've come from. I think it's important to understand not only where you've come from, but where you're at today, and how, you know, and kind of let people see a glimpse into your journey, right? So
Yeah.
from the moment you set sail and you decided to take on this adventure to take control of your health
Yeah.
and thus your life back, help us understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll try to be succinct because I think for me to describe my entire journey, which has lasted 9 years, and the breadth of everything that I've gone through would be difficult to sum up in so many words. But I think what I can say is I got sick at the age of 24, and it was completely unexpected, and it hit me, to say, like a bus. And I was a very healthy young woman, and overnight I lost the ability to walk, I lost the ability to work, I lost the ability to have a social life, and my life turned completely upside down. And it was a very shocking experience, and I think I knew as soon as I got sick. And it was also difficult to get a diagnosis. I was suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome symptoms, but also autoimmune issues and some very concerning issues. And I think from the moment I got ill, I knew it was going to be my goal to get better. And I don't think that I ever accepted that I would spend the rest of my life like this. But to tell you that it took me 9 years to get to where I am today, I have fought incredibly hard to find the correct treatment and the right treatment that was going to make me feel better. And it has been, I have tried a lot of things, just to tell you the truth. I've been to many countries all over the world. I've traveled to Germany, I've been to Canada, I've seen many of the best doctors in the United States. A lot of them, you know, describe themselves as leaders in the field of the illnesses that I was suffering from. And I think what is so amazing is that where I am today in this clinic, and the people and the team that I'm working with now have made the greatest amount of change, and to sum up, have given me my life back.
That's awesome. I mean, I really think, like I said, even before I knew you, I knew of you, and your story is one of persistence, tenacity, determination, like I said, to take control back.
Right.
So talk a little bit to people about what happens when, you know, someone who may have lost all hope, as you did. Like what options do they have that could possibly they could turn to and they could look at so that they don't give up?
Yeah. As any person who is dealing with chronic health issues would understand, or any health issues for that matter, is that your health is the most important thing. And as soon as it's taken away from you, you feel the loss of it acutely, and it affects every aspect of your life. And it can cause you to feel incredibly hopeless, and to feel depressed, and to feel anxious. And there was several moments where I didn't want to live anymore, and my suffering had become so severe, and I was in so much pain on a daily basis that I didn't want to go on. And I would say about 6 years in, I had tried so many different treatments. I had tried Myers cocktails, I had tried dietary interventions, I had tried different supplements, so many different supplements. I tried energetic healing, and it almost felt like I was running out of things to try. And that's a really scary position to be in as a patient, because if you're someone who has decided to fight, I don't want to live like this forever, and you have gone down the list of things that you wrote that you were going to try, and the list starts getting smaller, you get freaked out. Because you're like, I'm nearing the end of my options here, and I am still not where I want to be, and I haven't gotten my life back, and my quality of life is suffering. And I had gotten to that point, and then I had also been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease on top of everything else that I was dealing with.
Just cherry on top.
Just the cherry on top. So if you think about it, I had been fighting my illness for 7 years, so hard, making some improvements, but it just felt like I was hitting plateau after plateau and not making progress, and I still wasn't able to work. I still wasn't able to get some semblance of normal life back, and that's when the hopelessness kicked in. My list had dwindled of things that I was going to try. I still didn't have a life. I was still suffering, and in that moment, that is when my mother came into the picture and said, absolutely not. I know that you feel like giving up right now and you're the most hopeless you've ever been, but actually we need to do the opposite. We need to fight harder. We need to look more deeply than you have ever before. And I said, I'm too tired to fight anymore. That's what I told her. I said, I've been fighting for 7 years. I have nothing left in me. And she said to me, I'll help you.
Wow.
And she was the one with her help that she identified actually your team. And I had never tried cell therapeutics before, and that was a treatment that I hadn't pursued. And that actually turned out to be the thing that I needed to start feeling better.
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing, cell therapeutics, and all the benefits that it possesses, because it really allows the body to harness its ability to recover.
Exactly.
And in your case, being so young, you never expect to have an existential threat where you're really facing your mortality in the face. And for a while there, you did.
Absolutely.
So I think it was important for for you, and thank God you had your mother, kind of like your guardian angel there to really help drive, because I know it is overwhelming, and this is a story that we hear a lot. It's just like I have nothing left, but it's important. And if someone sees you now, they may almost take for granted like they haven't seen like that journey. That's why it was so important for you to explain that, because it's really an impressive. I mean, I get goosebumps when I hear you talking about where you've come from.
Yeah, what you are seeing today, what you are seeing now. I am a cancer survivor. That was part of my journey, as well as having serious chronic fatigue issues, as well as the autoimmune disease issues that I mentioned. I also have methylation issues with certain mutations. So I had a really big uphill battle. This just wasn't one illness I was dealing with. I had 4. So it was a serious, and I was told by, the leading expert in chronic fatigue syndrome research that I would never work again. Never. And I was in a wheelchair for 2 years. I spent 3.5 years bedridden, where my only interaction with the outside world is once a month, when I would leave my house to see a doctor to get my blood drawn. And the depths of suffering that I experienced due to being bedridden and sick are just unfathomable. It was so terrible and so difficult. But yeah, seeing me here today, I work a full-time job right now.
I love when I spoke to you the other day, and I asked you, how's it going? You go, oh, I'm stressed with work. And when she said, I'm stressed with work, that means that health is not a priority. She's feeling good enough where she could stress about the other stuff that everyone else stresses about, right? So that was great to hear.
I know, it's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling everyone here, what you see now is a miracle. I was so ill and pretty much was told I had no chance of recovery.
So a little bit about what Sophia's having done. So here at Rehealth, we're actually in our beautiful facility here in Cancun. She's actually having an MSC, or mesenchymal stem cell treatment. It's being administered via intravenously. Some of the benefits of an IV infusion of stem cells is immune benefits, systemic inflammation, which is a big thing, which is something that Sophia had. And of course, you're seeing her hooked up, and it seems like it's not a big deal, but this is a culmination. There's a big team of medical professionals that have all advised and viewed her medical history. It's not just coming in here, throwing some stem cells at her, and let's hope it works. No, this is all it's all documented. We make sure that we follow a protocol that is meant for her overall well-being. It's not just throwing everything at her and see what sticks, right? Mm-hmm. So she's done that. In addition to the stem cell treatment, she's also been here previously to get do an NK cell therapy. NK cell therapy stands for natural killer cells, and the NK cells are really the Navy SEALs of your white blood cells. So as we get older, these cells become senescent, and they don't want to fight as hard. And you heard Sophia; she was tired of fighting. So these cells are the same way. They get tired of fighting as they get older, and especially after they get older and they're being attacked from all angles. And a massive inflammatory response could trigger that, in addition to other factors. So in essence, we took about 16 tubes of blood, a lot of blood from Sophia. We process it, and then once that's done, we proceed to administer that into her. And now recently, with some of the studies that we're doing, we're actually seeing that those NK cell therapies are having an effect on aging, or an anti-aging benefit. Two of the primary markers of aging, we're actually seeing an improvement, or setting back the clock on those markers, in addition to the immune system reset. NK cells are great for bloodborne cancers, We've even had patients improve from IBS. So we're very excited about the outcomes of NK cell therapy, and the stem cells is really has been our a big go-to. Everyone is familiar with stem cells, but it's extremely important to understand. And I think you definitely did your homework, because with so many places that you're seeing that are offering stem cells, how do you make your pick, right? There's a lot of noise in the space around it. So it's important that you understand, who the team is, the real science, who are the medical professionals, because we are an evidence and scientifically based company here at Rehealth. We've been in this business for a long time, treated thousands of patients, and we're not just a fly-by-night coming into this. So it's important for you to do your homework so that you get to the right facility and you're administered the right treatment, and not just to try to treat you currently, but to help you with your continued care, because you continue to degenerate, right, as your life, as you progress. So it's important to have that follow-up care. So we're very excited about all the stuff we're doing, and Sophia is really, there's like one patient that we could highlight in terms of how do you sum up how cell therapy improves. I mean, she is the living embodiment of that, and I really want to thank you for trusting us with the most intimate part of your life, which is your health. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and what I would say is, if you're watching this video, you're congratulations, you found the team. I'm not just saying that. These are the people that saved my life, and I saw experts. I went to clinics in Germany. I did everything. I did everything I could, and you are the guys. You are the guys that finally changed the tide. Like, you gave me my life back, and it's never too late. It doesn't matter how long you've been sick. It doesn't matter how many illnesses you have. These treatments actually work, and they've changed my immune system, and they've changed my life. And this team of doctors, the level of care, not just the level of sophistication with the treatments that you're receiving, this is cutting edge technology, specifically the NK cells. This is going to be the future of medicine. This is how people with autoimmune disease, with post-viral fatigue syndromes, and people with cancer will be treated in the future. This is the future of medicine, and this team is ahead of the curve, and they're giving us the opportunity to be treated now so that we don't have to be sick a day longer. And I think that's super important to highlight.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, like I said, I think you've heard Sophia's story, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that may share some of this. And if you want to take control of your health, I'd love to be able to speak with you and have any questions. Make sure to click on the link in our bio, and we'll have one of our medical professionals set up a consultation, and we could ask all the questions. We're here to really help understand, because the important thing is that we personalize our treatments to you. So that's the approach that we take. So thank you again.
Thank you.
All right.